So Andrew and I were actually just having a conversation about this, the annoying side of Bali. And it started from a few things. I mean, this has been happening. So what's the annoying side of Bali that we keep talking about?
So I'm learning very slowly over time through reading and interactions. So Bali is a place where wealthy people go who are kind of desperate for healing or change. And so they come here and they end up spending money on that whole process.
Yeah.
Other people, other expats, other remote workers, other digital nomads have figured this out. And they come to Bali to get a piece of that action. And so you have two classes. You have
The lost rich people.
the lost rich people and the digital nomad portion of that.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
So you have those two crowds.
See, I just got an iced latte. Are we like the hustlers or the rich people?
We're somewhere in between. That's the thing is
Because to everybody that we meet, apparently we're the rich people that need to be sold on random shit. Like random shit that need to be sold every 2 seconds. Sorry. There's going to be a lot of emotions here.
Yeah, we've been talking about this for like the last hour, so we have a lot that we need to get out on the subject matter, I think.
We don't see ourselves as lost rich people. We see ourselves as entrepreneurs. We see ourselves as builders and hustlers, okay? We don't see ourselves as lost rich people.
So me and Pardes have this quality where we're like allergic to being on the receiving end of a hustle. Like when we feel it coming, when we feel somebody wanting to sell us something, it sets off
all
both
our
of our warning
physical
bells.
symptoms. Like my ears start popping and hurting, like Andrew's head.
Like it's a special kind of stress. Like I used to work in a field where I used to have to deal with a lot of fraud and scams and detecting those things and working kind of against that world, going way back in my career. And so I have a radar for it, and Pardes has developed a radar naturally due to her life experiences and what she's gone through. And so we both, when we feel it being directed at us, it's almost like somebody holding like a magnifying glass and focusing a sunbeam on us, and it makes us feel like absolutely uncomfortable. We start kind of squirming.
Yeah.
And we detect it really quickly.
It's impossible to make friends in a town like this.
It's really hard. And the thing
really
is
hard.
that the lost rich people and the regular digital nomads, the problem is they look the same. They look identical. You have to talk to them for a few minutes
Everybody
before
looks
you...
the same.
It's like in the United States, like you have people that wear suits, right? You have people that work in an office building. You have middle managers. You have executives, and then you got the people at like the car dealership. They also wear suits, right? The old school car dealership, or it used to be like, you go there, you buy a car, guy tries to talk you into a car, or whatever. All these guys wear suits, and so you get here and everybody's wearing suits, and you have to distinguish like that guy wearing the suit. Metaphorical suit. That guy wearing the suit is the CEO. This one's a middle manager. This one is going for a job interview or whatever. And then you have like the used car dealer, and that's who we're allergic to. Is this guy?
Everybody is a used car dealer in this town.
There are many used car dealers,
including like literally anybody that you think might be your friend, that might become your friend, that might be someone that you can like someday long-term form a business with or be inspired by in any way. Everybody here is a used car dealer. Like it's so annoying. And the people that are not are always hiding because they're always hiding from all the other used car dealers. Like, do you notice that other people, like the people that are like more friendly and more like coming, and over time you kind of want to like retreat into your own space because you just like, it's annoying to try to always be hiding from like all these people.
Yeah, it is. There's definitely that vibe, and you feel like you need to protect yourself from the other expats. Like you need to be so purposeful, and
people are very pushy about it. Like you have a conversation with someone and you're like, I just like want to be friends with you. Like I want to talk to you about something that's like near and dear to my heart or whatever. Like you're just having a conversation, and they'll just keep pushing their coaching session. They want to sell you their coaching session. They want to sell you their event. They want to sell you their like product that they're coming up with, and they just really, really, really want you to buy it. And they will do this thing where they will like, you'll show a little bit of interest and like, so where are you from? Like, how's, what's your story, whatever. And you show a little bit of interest, which you don't need it. It's just, but they'll use that as a hook to say, well, if you want to know, you should buy my coaching session. You should come to my thing. You should do my thing. You should buy my thing. And like, it's like, dude, I don't care about your life that much. I just was trying to make conversation with a soul here that exists.
And we love to talk to people who are entrepreneurs and who are building businesses and who are doing things. But there's these two different. There's people who are honestly looking at markets,
and we're looking for them too. Like, you're always looking for entrepreneurs and stuff.
Yeah.
Like people that long term.
I'm always perceptive to who's in the room and like really trying to detect really good, honest entrepreneurs who are just like, here's the market, I can deliver this thing of value, they're going where it makes sense, but there's this weird vibe here where people aren't looking at different markets. They're only looking at the wealthy people in Bali who are just kind of spending money. And there are no honest entrepreneurs. They're not looking at markets. They're not doing their research. They just came here to be predatory to people in weak positions
to make a few bucks right now. Just make a couple bucks right now, and that's all they're looking for.
Well, I think what they're looking for is every so often I think they land a whale. I think they find somebody with means that is vulnerable because they're in a transitory place in their life. They offer them XYZ, and they're able to land a whale. And I think that's what they're all going for. And it's just, it doesn't feel good. It feels like this is not why
violating.
We came to a place like this. We wanted to work with other builders and capitalists, and it's not like that here. It sucks.
Yeah, like, and the things that don't suck are really awesome. Like, we love the cost of things that we like. We're not like single, so we're not like going to like these like raves to network with people, and like we're not like spending. I mean, you can end up spending a lot of money here if you go to like a lot of social events and stuff like that. We don't need that. We're not trying to like waste our time socializing. So does that make sense? Like the things that we need, we get good deals. We get good deals on housing. Like, our rent is like $400 a month. I mean, beat that. Like, in a nice, beautiful place. We were complaining about certain things, like whatever, AC.
Yeah.
We want to move to a place that has AC, which is still the same price. Like, you don't have to pay more for AC. It's just that the place that we chose doesn't have AC, and it has a fan, and it's annoying because there's still mosquitoes. Whatever, I'm not going to go into that. But like the costs, like you could just live here indefinitely. You could live here indefinitely if you're like a nomad, a remote worker, or you just have some savings. You can live here indefinitely. You can like live on your savings until you build your business. And a lot of people come here to do that. Like, this place is notorious for that. People are just coming here to live on their savings and live a good life around a lot of sunshine and like water and nice nature and like coconuts. Like, Andrew's having a coconut right now.
Yeah, it really, I mean, and you compare this to the places that we've been. In San Cristobal, we met a lot of people. We had a good set of friends in San Cristobal, Delicasis. And
it was thanks to Anthony and Isabel.
Yep, Anthony and Isabel. And
they have a really good group. They got a really good group.
They do. I feel like they've been there long enough, so they did the actual hard work of kind of like vetting real people versus like kind of not real people. And
yeah.
I met some really great people who were just building their businesses. They weren't working from a point of desperation. They were, doing the work. They weren't being lazy about it.
Sometimes someone sells you something that you really like, and you actually do want it.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And so, in particular, I made a friend there, or was introduced to a guy.
In St. Chris?
In St. Crystal,
Okay.
yeah. And he has a backpack
That's in Mexico, by the way, in Chiapas.
Chiapas, Mexico, yep. And he was building a backpack, and he started like before COVID, and he has this whole journey of like this product that he's been building. He's been researching the market, he's been reaching out to his customers and getting feedback, and he honestly cares about what he's doing, and he's not trying to shove it down the throat of every single person, and he's not trying to get quick sales. Like, he's trying to build a business and build a machine. And that was like a really refreshing relationship, and I had a lot of respect for that person. And we talked, and we were able to be on par with each other as far as like, you know, entrepreneurs. And like, I didn't feel like I was trying to be taken advantage of. I felt like he was curious about my background and my experience and asking me a bunch of questions, specifically stuff about like, 3D scanning and stuff like that. He was wanting to do the same as his product.
And it doesn't feel like the relationship is exclusive of the business. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah, it did.
Like, it feels like you could do business with him if you want to, but you can also be his friend if you want to, and it doesn't feel like you have to choose.
You don't have to choose a side. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was great. It was a good, honest relationship. And
same with like Amparo and the other guy.
Yeah. Yeah, there were multiple people.
Yeah, there was a lot of entrepreneurs and hustlers in San Chris.
Yeah, there
but
was.
It didn't feel like you have to choose, like you're forced, like, do this, do that.
Yeah, I felt there's been a few places where we've been. What would you say if you could pick a formula for like what place does not have the predatory, like, digital nomad entrepreneur vibe going on? What type of place?
The kind of place where the locals and expats are like living together and like more mixed.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, cause in Tulum definitely had that, the Bali vibe.
Oh yeah, those of you who've been to Tulum. In fact, we talked to a woman who'd been to Tulum and lived down that beach road with all the resorts, and she was explaining her experience too. But like,
wait, was it here?
Yeah, the woman we met here.
Which one? Here, at Titibet?
Yeah, was it?
I remember what you're talking about, but I just don't remember where we were having this conversation. Was it in Canggu? Was it in Canggu?
Maybe.
We meet a lot of people.
We meet a lot of people, but she'd been to Tulum, and Tulum is basically like kind of Disneyland for gringos.
Yeah.
It's like not an authentic Mexican experience. It's like
nobody wants to be your friend in Tulum.
Yeah.
Everybody just sees you as a walking money bubble.
Yeah, people are just trying to like get their little angle on where the money might be, and everybody's posturing too. A lot of people there, you know, they're very concerned about their social media, and they're people go there to look good.
But
it's very Instagram friendly places. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah. No, but we met Chris, that guy we met some people that were kind of like us.
We did. Yeah, we met a few good people, but we did it by staying away from the beach road down there. We actually stayed up in town. There were some restaurants and places that where we would meet better people.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if you went
we lived near the locals.
Yes, we did.
That's why we avoided it.
So Tulum was like had that vibe.
That's the formula. You have to live with the locals. If you live around the locals and spend time with locals and don't live in the Disneyland parts.
Yeah, definitely.
Because also I was reading a Reddit thing about Mexico City, and they were saying that the irony is that people will, expats, especially from the US, expats will specifically try to live in like the expat areas because they think it's safer. But actually in Buenos Aires, it's like this as well, where the irony is that the safer places are actually not in the expat areas. And the irony is that if you live in the expat areas, you're much more likely to get mugged, robbed, like bad things are more likely to happen to you, because that's where people come from all over the country to do their dirty work.
Yeah, people know to target those areas. So if you're like in the warm center where everybody's kind of protected, that's good. But the second you get like a little bit out of that expat area, like on the fringe, that's where you're going to get targeted. And you have to be really careful. There's so many other places in the city where people are targeting it because there's not expats like collected right in one area. Via de Leyva was one where we were in a cafe, we had a random conversation. We were like talking about a bicycle rental business, and sometimes we get into like these intellectual exercises where we talk about how to make a business work, like a random, but we were seeing some
Are we cool like that?
bicycles, and we were like talking about how to make it work and what it would take, and there was
always talking about our theoretical business ideas, and sometimes we even start them. Like we have so many unfinished businesses that are waiting for us.
We do. But there was a guy that caught wind of it. He was, from Canada, and he was Colombian. He grew up in Colombia, and between Colombia and Canada, and he just thought it was fascinating. We ended up talking to him, and he was one of our best friendships, and led to other friendships. And
in Colombia, we became really close to him and his family.
Yeah, and it was just it was an authentic experience, and it was that was another place where I felt like we had more honest interactions.
Yeah.
Via de Leyva, Colombia.
Yeah, Via de Leyva. I felt like Via de Leyva is one of the world's like best kept secrets, right? Because like there wasn't a big nomad scene there. There were expats, but they were mostly like older, quiet Europeans. Yeah.
There were kids there too, but so the flavor of expat that you get in a place like Via de Leyva is they're more traveled. They're not targeting, like you don't go to Via de Leyva to target like wealthy people to sell your whatever healing blah 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 to, because
they're too smart.
They're not a lot of them there, and the ones that are there are too smart. They're kind of off the main path.
They speak Espanol.
So
they'll call you out on your BS.
So places like Via de Leyva can be a filter. Like the expat kids who do make it there tend to be kind of less prone to like bullshit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're more honest. They've been around. They're not scared to like go to a Via de Leyva versus like a Tulum, yeah. So. Yeah,
people come to Bali. They go to Tulum. They go to like the nomad hubs because they feel safer, and it's safe in a certain way. But it's like I don't feel psychologically safe. Like I feel physically safe. Like I don't feel like anyone's gonna like.
This is probably one of the safest places we've been.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna murder you.
In Ubud, yeah.
Yeah.
Physically, and the fear isn't the locals. The fear is
other expats.
Other expats.
Oh, the locals are amazing. The locals are so legit. They're so normal.
Yeah. It truly, like if you're traveling and you're traveling with like a woman or something like that, and you want her to be able to feel safe to like, go and do her shopping or move around town, this is a great place for that.
The locals are very safe. Like I wouldn't feel worried about the locals.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can relax. I mean, you can never completely relax, right? But it's much easier to do here. But yeah, just that feeling of like, and of watching the expat population like cannibalize itself.
Yeah.
Like it's just preying on itself, and you can feel the inauthentic, like people trying to pretend to be real, and they spring this thing on you,
and it happens literally a few minutes in, because people are so rushed to try to like collect their expat money as much as they can, that like there's just no it feels very lonely. Like, okay, so should I tell them about my belly dancing class?
Yeah.
So like my belly dancing class, I love my belly dancing class. It's like my favorite class that I've been going to, and my teacher made like a group chat for belly dancing, and to keep us updated about our classes. She's thinking about trying to do more classes at different locations, and like to get us. So she's been telling us to practice every day, and like send videos in the chat, and like of us practicing, like doing it right. And she's wanting to be more involved, and that's so exciting for me, because I'm not used to people like wanting to be involved with stuff without like trying to collect some money. And that's at the club, actually. I think it's, but anyways, sorry, I'm being all over the place. but there's this like one person in the chat that I haven't even seen her at any of the classes at all, like except for like maybe one of the classes, but like she's like running a hustle, like she's always like advertising like events and stuff like that, and she just like responds to like every single thing, like here's my event, whatever, like she's just like spamming the chat, which is fine, but it's like it I don't know, it wears down on you. Like I sent my video of myself like practicing whatever, and then she responded, well, you can get better if you come to this event that she's promoting, and it's only like 150,000 rupias, and the class pass is this and this. It's like, dude, this is like a little chat. It's a little private chat where a few of us girls are trying to get away from the stress of things and just trying to dance belly dancing together with this instructor lady. Like, I don't know.
I have
it's not a good example.
Kind of parallel to draw. So you remember our surf instructor?
Yeah,
Tomo,
yeah.
Tomo in Chengdu. Cool dude, whatever. Good surf instructor. But he was out there and he was with Pardes and teaching how to surf, and he was getting upset because we were on a crowded beach. A lot of people were learning to surf and stuff like that. The waves were full of people. I almost got nailed in the face like 4 times by surfboards. But
you're like watching somebody surfing at you and you're just like, like you're like about to get smashed.
Yeah. And I almost ran a couple of people over too. Like you had to be very conscious of where you were. But he was getting mad and he was calling people zombies.
Yeah.
He was like, look at all these zombies. And what he meant was there's people who were there who were engaged, who were trying to get up, who were on the waves. And then there were people that were out there that were just kind of like paid for it. And they paddled out, but they got tired. They didn't really want to try. They just kind of like went through the motions. I'm surfing, whatever. And then they end up getting out there, getting tired, and they want to be there, but they don't want to do the work. And they end up just bobbing up and down to the water.
And they're in your way.
And they're in everybody's way. And there's, hundreds of them, right, on this particular beach that day. And he was calling everybody zombies.
That's such a good one.
And that's what it feels like to us. It feels like we're here and we want authentic interactions with people who have the same interests, who are trying to build their thing. But we run into so many zombies. It's like we think we might be able to get an interaction, but 5 minutes in, they're just trying to sell us stuff. And it's like it doesn't even feel like an honest human interaction. It just feels like they don't see us as a person. They see us as a sale. And there's just a time and a place. Like if you're trying to just be on with selling and your business all the time with everybody you meet, like you're gonna push people away who want to have real authentic interactions with you outside of the context of selling each other something. Like,
but what if that's all they want to be selling? Like what if they don't have a business that they want long-term connection? Like,
well, but that's the thing, is that's why they're zombies. Like for me and you, we want authentic friends. So we have to filter out the people who will never be that, who are just very temporary. They pretend to be interested and wanting to talk and like be a regular person, right? But then you find 5 minutes in that they're just a zombie. They're never going to be your friend. They're just there to try to sell their thing to as many people. And you have to navigate.
And I guess they would be your friend if you were the same. Like if you were also had a thing that you just wanted to sell. Like let's say you were like...
No, I disagree with that.
No?
I think they try to sell each other all day long. Like I think they're just trying to
sell each other all day, and that's their friendship.
So it's really funny. You get two, zombies who get in a loop. Like two people have two different things to sell.
Because we're hustling too.
And they're just like, yeah, but like my target market isn't people in Ubud. That's not who I'm trying to sell to. Like I'm looking at actual profitable markets for not like taking advantage of like depressed rich people in Ubud in a vacation town. That's not my market, right?
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, you watch two zombies get into it and they're trying to sell each other. Like one person's trying to sell like the magical elixir of, whatever to make you feel better and address your depression. And the other one's like trying to sell like property, and they go back and forth a little bit, and eventually they figure out like they don't have a common ground. They're both just trying to sell each other something, and I think they're like, oh, there's no reason for us to talk. And then they go their separate ways. They figure out.
Yeah.
But like, it's not like they will try to sell each other something and realize they're both trying to do the same thing and then they become friends and talk about other things. No, they just like, you're not my target. I'm gonna go find another one. It's very.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's like transient almost. Transient maybe.
Yeah, you like kind of fail fast and then move on to the next person.
Like the Polish guy though, he has I mean, he's selling to expats as well because he's doing like design, like he's doing like home development, like he's building villas or designing villas, but it doesn't. But he's not doing it.
Yeah, I don't think he. In the context where we met him, he was more interested talking about like
Life.
other stuff in life, and like we were talking about like childhood experiences and holidays and stuff. Like he was from Poland and he was missing home a little bit. And, we talked, and he was one of the guys. I think he was honestly like I kept asking about what he does, and he was dodging the question a little bit. Like he didn't want to talk about it.
He didn't want to talk about work.
I think he had his radar up for those predatory expats too, like who try to sell each other something. I think he was, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he was guarded about talking about work. He just wanted to like chill.
So this guy, he goes and he sits in the sauna and then he does a cold plunge, and he does this like every day.
Single day, and he does it multiple times. He sits.
He's always there, like he's.
Do you think like he's never gonna get cancer?
I don't know, but whatever benefit the cold plunge has, he's definitely getting it because he does it a lot.
Yeah, and they actually it's like an ice bath basically. So he goes in the sauna, and then he goes in the ice bath, and he like back and forth. And then sometimes he'll do like a swim right between.
Yeah. So it's, I don't know. The feeling is kind of icky, and we're starting to feel burdened by that feeling. I think.
It's burned out. So how do we like avoid it?
How do we avoid it?
Or like avoid getting like burned out by it? It's literally everybody. Like at any time you like meet someone that you think you might have something in common. Not every single person. There's one guy that Andrew met recently.
Yeah, he was a great. I'm not going to talk about him too much, but like, I'm going to keep him kind of private. But yeah, he was a really good kid. Like it was a good, honest interaction, and we spent the whole morning talking to each other, and we found some commonality in business. But like, we got that out of the way, and then we just really connected. We were talking about all kinds of stuff. And he was a great kid, and he was cautious too. Like he was like. He felt like how we felt. Like he wanted to protect himself and his project away from bullshit and people coming in and sinking his boat, climbing up on it and tipping it over. And we clicked and we connected because I think we both understood. We saw that we both had good barriers, boundaries. We had expectations. We had healthy attitudes versus like work versus friendships, and like. He felt real. He felt like a real person. He had a business. He wasn't like allergic to talking about work. That's why we had the meeting. But like,
also, do you notice how like people that there's like if you're working, so the irony is that like is this the chicken or the egg? Wealthier people have more time. This is like irony because. You would think that if you work harder, you're making more money, you should have more time. But wealthier people actually do generally have more time than people that are like working today to make money today. But it's like the attitude towards whatever they're building is so different. Like this guy is gonna like try to make a relationship. He's gonna get to know Andrew. He's gonna like try to vet Andrew. He's gonna like, maybe not this guy. We won't talk about this guy, but like, anybody like that's like you, you're gonna like get to know the person, you're gonna try to vet them. Sometimes maybe it might even take years. You guys might try stuff together, might like find different ways of like making it work. You know what I mean? Like it becomes a long-term relationship, but you need time for that, which is possible because you've been engaging in things in the past that are buy you the time to do that, if that makes sense. But if you're working today for money today, like that's like having a job, like a salary job, that the attitude of people that are working today for money today is going to be very different. And that's part of, like, yeah, we talk about how it feels lonely and it feels like almost like predatory, but it's not only that, it just also feels like scarcity. Like it feels like I'm not going to become rich if I'm like around it the whole time, because like the attitude of people that are making long-term connections for long-term wealth is going to be very different. Like people, am I making sense?
No, it really does. And unfortunately, like as you're talking, like I'm just imagining, like if you jump on like, you know, Instagram or TikTok, or, you know, you're looking at YouTube shorts or whatever, there's like this whole hustle culture being pushed that I think is creating a lot of unauthentic, I'm using the word inauthentic quite a bit, like entrepreneurs that they're not thinking, that they don't know like what it is to run a business. And I mean, I respect it if you're really into it, but like it's being presented in a way where everybody's glomming onto it, and there's a lot of people who aren't going to make it, and it's just putting a lot of like static out there, a lot of really weird signals. And then I feel like we have to try even harder to filter out, you know, these kind of like hustle kids who really just don't know what they're doing and are cannibalizing their own communities.
But maybe they are.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe they are. There might be some people out there. We've met a few. Like we've met a few people.
Like influencers?
Like
I think being an influencer is awesome because you can have the like social, like using social media.
Well, what I'm talking about is the people that watch a lot of content that's kind of like, they follow, you know, Alex Hormozy or whatever, and they watch a lot of like inspirational videos from this person or that person and hustling, and like you only have to work X amount of hours a week, you know, producing t-shirts, and then you'll be a billionaire type of like, really, they're victims of that cannibalization.
I know what you're talking about. It's like if you work hard enough, you'll get somewhere. And the thing is that I know what you're talking about. And the thing is that creativity it's really hard. The thing that gets people like stupidly wealthy is going to be their ideas, their strategy, like their creativity, the brands that they produce. And that's not going to come from like mindless working yourself to death.
Like a formula, right? That is definitely part of it. Is like people, and that's why people can sell their get rich quick thing. Like they're like, I found the formula, I broke the code, sell my make t-shirts and sell them, do an AI thing, like, you know, and then they package it and they try to sell it to each other, and they're just cannibalizing. And then you have people who don't understand.
What do you think of my book, House Hackers Anonymous? Do you think my book is different?
Yeah, I think your book is different because I think that you're not selling people like a get rich quick type of thing. I think you're selling a hack, and you're honest about it. You're like, hey, this is a hack. This is like you're having trouble. You're engaged in a lot of bullshit. You can't see the way. You're all these expectations from these people who are piling on you the way that life should be, and it's not working for you. And then you're like, buy this book for $5, read it, and then, you know, you have this knowledge type of thing.
Yeah. Well, also,
let's put it this way. Okay, your product inspires thinking. It doesn't sell an ultimate solution. It's not like, buy this, I teach you to do this. It's buy this, and I open up your mind to solve your own problems type of thing.
Yeah. So like it is like formulas. Like it does actually tell you step by step exactly what to do. HHA. But it's like it tells you exactly what to do, but the goal of HHA is to get you to the place where you can actually rest and relax and have time to like come up with your own creative ideas. Because I really think that the best, like all these like really, really hard hitting businesses, it just takes a lot of getting to know yourself, creativity, like, unless you're gonna copy somebody else's brand.
Here's what I would say the difference is, and I've heard this from different teachers in the past. So there's, like, let's say in martial arts. So in some martial arts, there's like the big ultimate move. There's like this special technique, right? That you try to learn. You try to like get through all the basic kata and all the movements and stuff like that and the forms. And you try to get to the apex of the art and learn like the super secret backflip, kick, whatever, blah, blah, blah. So you're at the top of the mountain, right? And you work to get to the top of the mountain. Well, then there's the idea of when you start off in martial arts, you start at the very top of the mountain. You have limited things you can do. You only have this one point of land that you're standing on. You can only do like the one move or whatever. And your goal is to get down in the valley where everything opens up. There's more possibility. There's more land. There's more vegetation. And you want to open up possibilities and different routes and be able to be more creative and build the things down in the valley that you want to build. And I think your book is the opposite of like sell t-shirts, get rich. I think it says, I'm going to give you the tools to be able to be a more holistic person with more possibility, more creativity. Like, let's first figure out your emotional state.
Yeah.
And then let's give you the tools.
Also, like, a lot of these, like, I've taken a lot of courses, like, pretty much, like, a lot of these, like, get-rich-quick stuff. I think that they're really valuable, actually. Like, I think they're worth it. Like, I think every penny that I've paid into some of these courses, for me, was worth it, because I feel like I learned a lot. But at the same time, like, you could be handed like a perfect playbook to like the perfect business, and you're still not going to do it when you're not in a position of stability. Like if you're living under your friends' couches, or you're not feeling mentally stable because like you're dealing with stuff, trauma or whatever, like, or you have to work a job, or you're moving towns constantly, like you're not staying in a place consistently enough to build something from that position. Like even a YouTube channel, like if you like post every day for like every week for 3 years, you're gonna get somewhere with it. You're gonna like, but if you're like, there's just so many periods where I was like moving around, like if you're not being consistent with anything that it is, if you're not being consistent, and being consistent requires some form of stability in your life, you're just not going to get anywhere with it. So it's like money wasted, but like I still don't think that the money was wasted, but it's get rich quick in theory. Like you still have to first prioritize your ability to be consistent with whatever it is, to keep going at something even if you don't make money for years. Which is like, I think that's where you make that's like the kind of stuff that you've been doing, like the kind of stuff that you've been putting your energy on is not how can I sell this guy and make money today or tomorrow. It's like, how can I build something that's going to make sort of long-term stability.
There is, and I think I mean, if we really want to get deep into it for this video, I don't know if you want to have a longer conversation.
Say it.
Well, so there's different ways of being an entrepreneur. There's different routes, right? You do have the kid that's making like AI art and selling it, and you do have people selling feet pics, or you do have like the guy just making t-shirts or whatever, right? And then you kind of have, mid-tier people writing software as a service, and they grind on something for like a year or two. And then you have people that are trying to build whole entire companies, and that are like hierarchies of people who are doing jobs, and they're either outsourcing or hiring directly. And so you have entrepreneurship where you have a large scale of what that means.
Sorry.
And I've been through this thing where I've had the larger kind of structure where I've had people working or outsourcing, or people working on equity, or people just working for a salary, right? And I've also tried to scale down and just tried to do very simple things where it's just me. Some of the things I'm working on, like I'm working on a project right now where it's just me. I'm purposely taking all the other people out I'm figuring out something that I can do that delivers, value beyond the work that I'm putting in, and I'm kind of dumping some time into it.
Because if you can be consistent, but not everybody on your team can be consistent, then you're still gonna have issues.
Right. And so what it means to you as an entrepreneur, it can change based on the way you go about it. So if you're building a machine of people, you have to really maintenance that machine. You have to address the people's needs, your workers' needs, and it becomes a different game. You're not doing the actual work, you're not working on the actual project, you're more just trying to satisfy everybody who is. And so it introduces a huge range of possibility for people with different strong suits, or people who are predisposed to different things.
Yeah.
Like if you're that whiz kid genius in your basement and you come up with this amazing piece of technology and you could sell it off to Google or whatever, like, hey, that's one way of doing it. That's one way of, one route towards that. That's legit. If you're a big people person and you just want to put together like a sales team to be able to sell this thing, and you got like 15 people and you're kind of working as a project manager and running the business at a time, that's completely different. But there's such a different spectrum of like, kind of entrepreneurship. And I think the mistake, I made getting into it early on too was just like thinking there's just one way to do it, like run a business, here's a blueprint, you do it this way. But there's room for creativity, there's room for, growth and different styles and different interaction with other people. So I know I'm kind of like wandering.
Jeanette said we would like Java better, by the way.
Did she?
Yeah. She said we would like Java better.
But I think what we're seeing here is it doesn't feel like being an entrepreneur. It feels like being kind of a scammer almost.
Yeah. Like it doesn't even feel like any of these people have, you think any of these people have like a LLC?
Maybe. They might.
All these people are on tourist visas.
Yeah. So looking at it from a clinical kind of very logical perspective, like the market that these people have identified to do their business
and they're getting paid in cash. They're charging and getting paid in cash. Sorry.
Is literally their target market is literally desperate, depressed, or lost wealthy people. That's who they're going after. So you're taking kind of a populace or a market that's in distress, and there's nothing wrong with that if you can provide them something of value, right? Like, you have a problem, I'm going to fix it for you. You're having an emergency, I'm going to fix it for you. But they're not selling them actual fixes. They're selling them kind of like something to scratch the emotional itch, or a really esoteric idea that may not directly address their problem. Like, I've literally seen somebody...
Andrew cares a lot about providing actual quality.
Well, value, right? So it has to solve a problem. Part of being a business owner or being an entrepreneur is you make something that provides value to a customer, and then they buy that, they return, they buy it again.
Yeah, but to play devil's advocate, they do really believe that it's providing value. And maybe it looks and feels like bullshit, but maybe the bullshit is the most value that they could ever perceive giving to another person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And if people are paying for it and they're feeling good about it, if you're running a bar and you're giving people alcohol, you're literally killing them. You're giving them something that's going to kill them.
Mm-hmm.
So why would you keep doing it if it's like people are wanting it. If they don't buy it from you, they're going to go buy it from someone else. And this is what's helping. This is what they need right now, is just something to numb them right now in the moment. And you might really believe that, it's getting them to the next place in their life. Maybe next month they will sign up for a yoga studio and start doing yoga or something.
Yeah. Well, that's true. But I think you know, there is value in some of this stuff, but there are people who make products that don't have the value. They realize that people might pay for anything to get their hands on. Like a yoga practitioner who has actually studied and done it and knows how to actually affect you positively versus like, you know, somebody who is selling you like a solution in a bottle.
Yeah, but that's all free exchange. Like that's all capitalism basically.
Yeah.
I'm playing like that's all capitalism. Like you know, like you saw, remember that post that said like this, they showed a cup of water. This glass of water is free because I got it from like a river or something. But this same glass of water costs $1 in this city, $2 in this city, $6 in this city, $15 on the airplane, whatever. Like they're kind of showing the difference between the price.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's not about the value of the water. It's about what people will pay for it depending on who it is. Like if you're in the airplane, people will pay more money for a bottle of water. But if you're in like a city where there's like an abundance of natural water, maybe they won't. Like, I don't know. When it comes to making money, it's never about what you find valuable. It's always going to be what the market finds valuable.
Yeah. It is the perception of the person, you know, of what has value.
And if you're willing to serve that market and give that market what it wants, maybe that market just wants alcohol. So maybe the types of people that we're seeing is not reflective of those people, but it's reflective of the market that's coming here. Is that people are really lost when they come here.
Well, it's true.
Because they heard about Bali from Eat, Pray, Love, which you haven't watched with me yet.
I'm never gonna watch it. Not my type of.
It's kind of a fun movie. I like Eat, Pray, Love.
Yeah, I guess if that's. I feel like the people that do come here, they want things that work. They want actual. And like you have a lot of people.
You want things that are real, that work. But some people are just depressed and got out of a breakup.
Yeah.
And they don't care. They will drink whatever is out there.
Well, and that's my point, is people have figured out they can sell just anything, whether it's good for the customer or not. Like, they don't have to put any work in to build an actual good product. They could just sell an idea that doesn't actually deliver what they say it will.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the thing is they can sell to people who are desperate, looking for answers. But the thing is like people like me and Pardes who come in here, you know, we just see a lot of BS and it turns us off and we don't like it.
Yeah. I just don't like, I just don't like being sold to. Like, it's just a pet peeve of mine. Because I just feel like, and I've felt like this for a while, like, I always feel like this might be just like in my head, but like I always feel like I'm perceived as the richest person in the room. Like wherever I am, even if I might genuinely be the poorest, most desperate feeling, most struggling person in the room, for some reason, I don't know if this is accurate, but it feels to me like I'm, and I feel like you're like that too, like where you're in a room and immediately anybody who's trying to sell anything immediately comes up to Andrew. Because Andrew's this big white man that looks like he probably could buy whatever they're selling, that he can afford. Like, I don't know. Does that bother you?
It's a double-edged sword. Like, some people, I think, know that I don't put up with BS. And I think some people just kind of run up and want to sell something. Like, it depends on who they are, but...
You can say no, but I just feel like it just feels kind of lonely after a while, because I just feel like I'm not being understood as like a colleague. I'm being understood as like a piñata for everybody to come and like try to get theirs regardless of how I'm feeling. Like, do you even know how I'm feeling? Do you even know if I'm rich? Like, do you even know if I have money in my pocket? Like, why does my face scream, I'm like the richest person here and I will buy all your shit? Like, it just feels like not being understood. This is going to go to a much deeper level, and this is, it's going to sound like a therapy session.
Yeah. Well, this is how a lot of our conversations go. Like, we get into it and, we bring up different viewpoints and stuff like that, and it's like fuel for consideration of different ways of thinking and ideas. We do a lot of this. This is actually like you're just walking in on the way me and Pardes kind of...
Yeah, we were already having this conversation, and I was like, can I turn on the camera?
Yeah. And based on what you just said, something about what you just said...
My hair doesn't even look good.
is... I think your hair looks beautiful. Is I think that you're saying... I'm saying it's the fault of just this inauthentic entrepreneur who's kind of predatory. And you're saying, no, it's our fault because we stepped in a zone where people aren't treating us this certain way. Like, it's our fault for walking into this, almost like...
Yeah, well, people come here for that. They want to buy the healing stuff. Like, there's always going to be someone that perceives what you're spending money on as being bullshit, because the nature of being an expert in something means that it's going to be so easy and effortless for you, and such a no-brainer. So the nature of being an expert in literally anything, or being exposed, or knowing anything, is that it's going to be a no-brainer to you. It's going to be obvious to you that it might not be to somebody else. So obviously you're going to think it's bullshit to pay for something like that. But there are people that might perceive the thing that is such a no-brainer to you as being so valuable. That's why you have an economy, because there's this disparity of like what I see as valuable versus what you see as valuable. What I see as valuable in a relationship is a big, strong man to protect me. But you would never want that, because you're used to being that. Like, and what you want is what I would never want. I would never want a little girl to like have to like take care of the whole time. Like, that would be so annoying for me. Like, I want like my partner to be strong. Like, I don't want like myself. You know what I mean? It's just the nature of like being in the world as who you are, is that you're never going to see the same value as somebody else. And that's why how you're able to like leverage value is that you're always going to have something that somebody else wants. They're going to have something that you want, and then you can like create like an exchange that way.
Yeah. Well, let me throw this out there too.
But Andrew is an expert in a lot of things, and he knows a lot of things. So to him, everything is bullshit.
Well, let me put it. Well, there's the experience of the buyer, I guess, right? And the responsibility of the buyer to be able to like get the product that's right for them, or the service that's right for them, what they're buying. Like, there's kind of an onus on
Yeah,
the
because
person
everything
buying
would
to
be
check.
BS, ultimately. Once you can get behind the wheels of every process will be BS eventually.
So I'm going to throw out there kind of a situation to look at. Pardes is an expert on massages.
Yes, I'm an expert on massages.
She is. She knows what a good massage is.
I can be your massage consultant and tell you exactly where the good massages are.
She actually could. So when we first got here, we found a massage place, and it was beautiful. It was relaxing, and it was good massage, right?
Yeah.
And it had all these perks, and it was really cool. But we ended up finding a different massage place that was like has a curtain. There's like, it's kind of crowded. You can hear the person next to you getting their massage.
It's a room with beds and curtains in between them.
Yeah, and it's just off this road. It's just kind of really lackluster, right?
Yeah.
But the practitioners in this place know what they're doing.
They're really good.
Really good. If you want a good massage, like, this is a place you go. And so...
It's so low-key, like, it's just on the side of the road. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, it really is. and we go there, like, and the price is right too, right? Like
$7. I'm always bragging about it. $7 for a really good deep 1 hour deep tissue massage.
So we favor going to this place rather than the really cool,
the fancy place. Which is like,
still a good place.
Still a good place, and it's not actually, the fancy place is like $11 for the same experience, maybe $12 for the same experience.
Yeah, I would say the people, like, it's good, but it's not as good as the new place.
Yeah, it's not as good. Yeah, the people at the cheap place, like the massage therapists, really know what they're doing.
But like, Pardes is a massage expert, and she knows
massage connoisseur.
So she knows how to look for this, and that's one of the things that she can identify is where to get the good massage, where not to. But she has experience there, so. Maybe what we're kind of discovering in this conversation is like, it's not just the responsibility of the person selling to create good value, but it's also the responsibility of the consumer to identify the value that they want to buy.
Yeah, just don't be stupid. And the reason why people here are able to like be as annoying as they are, like, that's why we left Mexico. Mexico is so expensive, but it's only because of Americans, because Americans are the stupidest buyers you'll ever meet. There is no buyer, I'm sorry, because we're Americans, so I'm allowed to say that. You will never find buyers that are stupider than American consumers, because Americans have been trained to take it from behind as a buyer. Like, Americans have been trained to be to just get the worst deals, be treated the worst, like the worst customer service, and have to pay like a 30-40% tip on top of that. Like, no other place in the world is like that. So I feel like Bali,
there's no bartering in the United States. Like, there's a price tag and that's what it is.
Yeah,
the variety of
put up
products
with
is
whatever
like,
BS is thrown your way as an American consumer.
Yeah.
Because it's possible, because you'll do it, because that's how the culture is been trained for whatever reason.
Yeah.
But in other places they wouldn't put up with the same BS, so that's why the sellers are forced to be more honest. Like, the people keeping the sellers honest are the consumers, the buyers. And like in Mexico, they were complaining how like the landlords will raise the price. If you're a landlord, you have to pay your bills and stuff like that, right? And like, you have to charge the highest you could possibly charge. That's the rule as a landlord, especially if you're taking money from investors or the banks or whatever in order to like set up your rental business. Like, you have to charge the top dollar is what you have to charge for your business. If you're a landlord in Mexico and people are willing to pay 3-4 times the value of your property because they really, really want your place, why would you not take it? Like, you are stupid. You are a stupid person that should not be in business if you don't take the top dollar. But that's how it is in Mexico, is like, you have Americans going there offering like 3-4 times what people will pay. I mean, the market's going to be as good as the buyer, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so like the places we went to with the best markets are places where the locals are involved in the economy as well, to sort of dilute like the stupidness of expats.
That is a really good conversation. Like, that's that ecosystem of seller and buyer, the responsibility on both, and how it generates different outcomes. Like,
why would I not? If everybody in my market wants to pay me $500 for a hug, why would I not sell it to them? Like, you have to be stupid. You have to be like a sacrificial, like, I'm gonna say a bunch of names, but you just have to be like a really stupid person whose parents taught you to be poor. Like, that's just the only way I see it. Is like, the only reason people don't do this is because their parents taught them to be the poorest person in the room. Why would you want to be the poorest person in the room? You know, like, why is it good for you, for your family, if you don't accept what is given to you? And so, like, if the market wants it, you should give it. If you want to be in that market, you know, like, that's kind of what the market wants.
So what I'm taking away from this is, rather than placing a moral judgment on the interactions that are happening here in the market that exists here, we should just realize that we are not right for this. Like, we're feeling frustration because we're kind of existing in a place.
But there's some people that are really awesome here. I want to find them. Actually, there's more than just that guy. Like, there is my new coach.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of people, actually. But sorry. You were saying.
I was saying that maybe it was unfair to like be critical of the ecosystem here and realize that maybe it's just not a fit for us. And that the ecosystem we've seen so far, maybe the one that we've had access to.
Yeah. But it wouldn't make me not want to live here. Like, I still like what I like from what we're getting out of it. I just don't like the social scene.
Well, I think maybe there's probably a deeper social scene that we need to find.
Yeah.
Would you say that's fair?
Yeah. So that you can ignore all the zombies.
The zombies, yes.
Yeah. You need to find the surfers so that you can ignore the zombies. Or you need to, like, figure out how to get deeper in the ocean where the waves are, like, more out there.
Yeah. Yeah, just go where the place that's right for us, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Find that
Not
place.
Not physically, but, like, the
Socially, yeah. Pardes is afraid we're going to move again now.
I am, actually. I'm reacting to what he's saying. He's like, oh, maybe this isn't a good idea. It was very much a good idea. I do not want to move again. And actually, I really like this place. Like, I like Bali for what it has to... Are you kidding me? Warm weather all the time, which I really need. I really need warm weather. Like, people that are beautiful, I need to be around beautiful people. I'm sorry. That's what I need. I need to be around beautiful people that look happy. I don't care if they're not happy. Deep down, they have their problems. I just want them... I just want to feel... I have a hang-up about being around people that don't look happy or healthy, and makes me feel guilty for like trying to move up in the world. So I need to be around happy, healthy looking people.
Well, explain that dynamic. Like, you explained it to me like so many times, but like...
It's just hard for me to, it's hard for me to be happy, healthy, beautiful feeling if I'm around people that are ugly. Because I just feel guilty. Because, of this dynamic that my viewers already know about from this other video. But I feel guilt to be around people that are sad if I'm not sad. I just feel,
So when you when you say the word ugly, like what does ugly mean to you? Like when we're walking around and we're
unhealthy. People that look unhealthy or sad. Like if you're looking unhealthy or sad. Yeah, it's not really ugly, it's sad. Sad, unhealthy, poor. Which is maybe why this energy kind of rubs me the wrong way. This like, give me money, give me money, give me money. Like that really bothers me because it screams I'm struggling, I'm poor, I'm desperate. And it makes me feel a sense of, it spikes up my stress. Makes me feel stressed, makes me feel, it triggers me basically back to when I feel desperate. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah, for me, it's a trigger. It bothers me to see humans preying on the vulnerability of other humans to take advantage of it. So this is my experience. This is separate from yours, but like when I see somebody targeting somebody else who's at a low point and taking advantage of them, it kind of sets me off a little bit. It makes me not like that environment so much.
Yeah. This is my vulnerability, and I think it's going to be my vulnerability for a while. Like, I'm working on healing myself. This is my vulnerability. Like, I've felt desperate for so long. Like, literally my whole childhood, I felt desperate for whatever reason. Like just stuff that, just random stuff, like survival stuff. And like, even if I'm like this is until I really work on myself, like this is really going to be my vulnerability for a while. If I'm around somebody who's struggling, or if I feel like you're struggling, if I spend enough time around you, it's going to trigger me. Like it's going to make me feel back in that place. And that's part of why it really helps to be around people that are like, at least seem like they're okay, because then I don't feel like there's a crisis. Like, I don't have to feel like there's a crisis. And if people are actively going around saying I need money or like I'm having issues, whatever, and that's, they could really easily prey on my vulnerability. You know what I mean? That's my vulnerability. And so like I really have to be away from it for it to not affect me. Because I might, you know, they do it long enough, I might dish out money that I don't want to be spending.
Yeah. Yeah, for me it's yeah, we'll just leave it at that.
Wait, for you it's what? You can't leave everybody hanging. Like the final thing.
So we recently had a couple of different friends of Pardes that they were in a bad situation. They needed help. Or they just needed something. They're like, yeah, my situation's not good. You guys seem like you're doing good. You're traveling around. And they like wanted to jump in our boat with us because they were out there, they were drowning, and they wanted to jump in our boat. Yeah. And the difference between me and Pardes that we're seeing that we slowly resolve is that like I will always let people into the boat and I will try to help them, and like even to the detriment of myself sometimes, or the people that are around me that I care about, is I will extend too much. It's actually a problem that I've identified, is that I will sink myself
to help other
people. It's been like, in fact, it's been the theme of my life. And it's not good and it's not healthy. And several years ago, I really realized that I need to take care of myself. The best
and
way.
He saved many people's lives that way too.
Yeah. The best way to take care of myself, or the best way to take care of the people I love, people I care about, is to take care of myself, make sure that I'm healthy. And so I have this thing of that I try to avoid sinking myself for other people. And so we're out here in a place where people will sink you. They will latch onto you, either through the way that she just described, the way that I just described. And we're both, like, I think from different perspectives, trying to not fall into that.
Yeah.
In order to keep myself safe, I know this sounds really weird, I will go sacrifice myself to help people. Like, in order to feel like a good person, like, I'll go help people. Whether it's good for me or not, whether it sinks me or not, I will need like that emotional validation of, Andrew, you're a good person because you helped 5 people today or whatever.
That is something really bold to say. Continue, sorry.
It's true. And the thing is that, yeah, it's cathartic to me in the moment. But is it actually good for me? Like, it's almost like a fix. It almost makes you feel like, hey, I get my good person fix for the day. But like,
and that person gets their fix of
getting what they want from somebody.
Yeah, in the moment, not long term.
But like, I spent my whole day, whole month, whatever, like helping somebody, losing time, not taking care of the people that I love. Like, that's kind of my battle. And so there's what you just described and there's what I just described, but we both have our own relationship with this kind of dynamic, I think. Yeah,
it's really funny because like a lot of people, both of us have this actually. People will, both of us have this dynamic for sure. Like we want to help people because also it's like almost like helping ourselves, because we've been in situations, both of us, where we felt so weak and so much like a victim of our situation, and like it's like fixing that when you're helping that for somebody else. It's really cathartic and fulfilling. But like a lot of these fixes, like a lot of the kinds of energy I think that we have attracted in the past was very short-term fixes, like short-term, please help me with my short-term need right now, and it really bogs you down so that you're not able to like build those long-term machines. So we're trying to,
One of the amazing things you said to me just recently was, you said that there's times where you actually genuinely help people and it's a good situation. It's good for you, good for them. And the comment you made is, it's so funny. When I feel like when I consciously try to help people and sacrifice, like it's not good for anybody. But when I actually do really honestly help, it feels like I didn't do anything. It feels like it was so easy
Yeah.
And whatever I did, I didn't even know I did it, but like, you know, somebody's really grateful or thankful, and, you know, I made their life better. And I didn't feel like I hurt myself to do it. It felt like breathing. It felt like just being me.
It's so ironic that the times when people were so appreciative of me was when I didn't even do anything, literally. I was just doing something for my own selfish, like feeling good or whatever.
So this idea of, you know, it's us being our best possible selves as we go through the world, that's really beneficial for everybody, to be that source of just goodness, and to be the best we could be, to be happy in ourselves. And rather than trying to run out and save people, it's really working on ourselves that creates the best change. And I'm not saying there's not a place for like go help somebody out or respond to an emergency, or, you know, there might be times and places for that, but overall that shouldn't be your strategy. Your strategy should be to make yourself the best possible version of yourself, to truly love yourself. It'll just rub off on people. It'll create a better result in this world. So
be more sustainable.
And I think that brings the conversation back like full circle. And I think that's rubbing me the wrong way, because we've been going through this. We've been like trying to identify what bothers the both of us about this. And I think what I'm seeing is we have people out there like trying to like grab on to whatever makes them feel safe or validated in the moment. And they're not working on like being a good person and being happy with themselves, just like loving themselves, right? Not a good person what other people think of them, but just like
healing from the bottom up.
Building yourself from the bottom up, loving who you are. And
read House Hackers Anonymous. Read House Hackers Anonymous. You better buy it now. Buy House Hackers Anonymous.
We've had a lot of that lately, but really buy House Hackers Anonymous. It's like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna sell it. Like, so she wrote this book over the course of like a year plus some, like maybe 14 months or something like that. And I watched her the whole time. And like everything that we're talking about on here and this exploration of like self.
It is really about building yourself from the bottom up so that you can build like the best stuff. Like it's really about using what you have right now.
Yeah, we had so many conversations, like the whole time you were writing this, like these conversations like we're having right now. This was literally like our whole time in Colombia was like going out, sitting at a cafe and just talking like this for hours.
Should I give it away for free? The thing is, like, I can't really give it away for, like, I literally would give it away for free, but it was like, it's on Amazon. You can't, Amazon, you have to pay like Amazon to print it and whatever. And it's 400 pages, so.
Yeah.
I should make it into an audiobook. That's what I need to do. Coming up soon, it's going to be an audiobook.
It is, that's interesting. So, I mean, just because, let's just make this video as long as we possibly can. We're already, what, an hour and 12 minutes?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah. We'll close it soon. Soon we should end it.
We should end it?
No, but say what you're going to say.
Say, like, to be able to create something that's so incredibly valuable and wanting to give it to the whole world.
Yeah.
Like, it's, like that book, honestly, is like some of the best pieces of yourself. Like, watching you go through it and make it was absolutely beautiful. But it's got to be frustrating sometimes to have it sitting behind, to not just be able to give it. Like,
yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually don't want to make money from House Hackers Anonymous. Like, I want to, like, but that's stupid. Like, you have to be willing to ask for, this is in House Hackers Anonymous too. You have to be willing to ask for 2 or 3 times your worth for literally whatever you do, because that's gonna create the best results for those people. Like with a gym, like you can like, literally you could do the same thing that you would do at a gym, you could do it at home. But like you're paying for the gym, studies have shown the more money you pay for the gym, the more likely you're going to be to like invest yourself in it, because you feel more invested, the results are going to be better. Like it's good to charge more for stuff, but the thing is, like, I just want everybody to read HHA. Like it's like almost like propaganda for me. Like I want everybody to read it, and like I feel very passionate about it. So
I would make the argument that communicating the value to everybody.
Yeah.
Like people don't know, like they don't know the value. It's just another book that they go through on Amazon. But when you communicate the value and how important it is,
yeah.
Like,
I'm gonna make it into an audiobook, because like half the people that I told about it we're like, can you make it into an audiobook?
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you would do the same thing. You love audiobooks.
Yeah, I don't read books. Also because it's just hard when you're traveling. You need an audiobook because you can't. I tried to carry. Are you laughing about the book that I've had for like 2 years?
No, I'm not. What I'm laughing about is, so we ride around on a scooter and she puts an audiobook in her ears and we just like riding through the jungle or the beaches and stuff like that on our little scooter, and Pardes is just consuming audiobooks one after the other. And, yeah.
I should have one of those affiliate partnerships with Audible because and with like a GoPro. Oh, I should do that. Like literally it's just the most pleasant feeling to like go scooter like through the mountains. We should go back up north because it's cooler.
I've been thinking about that a lot lately.
And you just put an audiobook in and you're like going through and you're driving through the monkeys.
Yeah.
Monkeys, the
some
water.
of the roads like we've gone through, there's like just monkeys on both sides and you're like, you gotta slow down.
Swarming.
And you realize that if the monkeys wanted to attack you, there'd be nothing you could do. You'd have hundreds of monkeys just like on you. But,
You'd be scared.
It's cool, but it's also a little intimidating to ride through a pack of monkeys like that.
Yeah, and waterfalls.
Yeah, and yesterday we rode through a really cool neighborhood.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Like we found this little neighborhood with a river. Everything's overgrown in moss, and then we're next to the river, and then there's this little basin, and there's like 20 kids in there, like
they're like
swimming
laughing,
and
the adults are saying hello to you. Like it's just so nice.
But it was a side road off of the main road we normally travel like every day, like the busy, unremarkable, just Ubud road, right?
Yeah.
We go one block over.
Ubud is gorgeous.
To try to get away from traffic, and it's like this magical little. It's hard to even explain. We should go back and take another. We should get a GoPro. That road was really magical.
Yeah.
So.
I need to go to the bathroom.
That's a good ending for the video. I don't even know what this video. What are we going to title this video?
The annoying side of Bali.
The annoying side of Bali.
See you guys in the next video. Okay, guys, monkey sex. Watch. So that's a little girl. That's a girl one, right? That's the boy. Okay, the little one is a girl. That little one is a girl, and the. Are they fighting? She's like, I don't want to have sex with you, and he's like, you must. And she's like, oh no, be friends with me. Yeah, he's a boy.